Good evening and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. Well, y'all, this is my third attempt at recording this video. My phone has been ringing not just now, but all darn day. So hopefully that's the end of it, okay? It might ring again, so if it does, nothing I can do about it. It cuts me off whenever it rings. And I have all the features or whatever, or the features I think I'm supposed to have to where that doesn't happen. I've put my phone on silent. I've done everything, but it still does it. And I cannot wait until later this year when I can get rid of this iPhone and go back to Android, because with Android, if the phone rang, all I had to do was hit the pause button, take my call. It never cut me off. Okay, enough of that. Okay, as promised, I came back to let you know how my appointment went. So I went on today and everything checked out wonderful. Most importantly, my eye pressures were normal. Both of them were the same number, 13, which was excellent, the assistant said. And then she checked my eyes. So as you know, the right eye is 20/20, and the left eye, I knew that one would be bad. I didn't know where it would land. It actually landed at 20/25. It should have been 20/30. What happened was when I got to the 20/25 line, I mixed the two middle letters, which were an N and an H, small case, and I mixed them up. So she said, I'm going to give you the 20/25 because she said that is a legitimate mistake. An H and an N look alike. And so she said, had it been any other letter, then I would have kept you at 20/30. She was like, but because of those two letters, she said people mix them up all the time. Cataract or no cataract, they still mix up those two letters at that particular line. So she gave me 20/25. So then she did the overall. She was like, let's see what your overall vision is. And so my overall vision, it rounded off to the 20/25. And so she said, it may go to 20/20. She said, but she was like, you are strong 20/25, a weak 20/20. So I said, okay, I can take 20/25. And she said, well, guess what? She was like, you used to, before the surgery, you were a 2400. I was like, oh Lord. And I told her, I was like, yep. I said, I always wore the shaved glasses that looked thin. I said, otherwise I would have been Mrs. Magoo. Okay. So anyway, so just because of that. And then when the doctor came in, the doctor said, wow, he said, you did really well. And he thanked me for following the instructions. I was like, oh no, these are my eyes. And then with me getting the cheap Medicaid funded ones, he said, technically with the Medicaid funded ones, he said, it's the basic. He said, it doesn't correct astigmatism. He said, and he had told me, he said, you're still going to be in glasses. He said, but your prescription will not be nearly as strong. He said, you'll need a mild prescription and then we'll give you a bifocal for your readers. He's like, and you'll need to wear glasses still. And so I said, I can deal with that. I've worn glasses since first grade, so that's no biggie. And so I came out in the small percentage of people who come out better than expected. He said, you do not need glasses, only readers. So then I told him, could you suggest a good pair of readers? I said, because the readers that I have, I said, they get smeary looking. I said, I know it's the right prescription because I can see out of them when they're clear. I said, I have to clean them like every few minutes to keep them looking pristine. I was like, and I'm sick of it. I have my cloth right here, And so he said, where did you get them from? I said, Walmart. He said, no. He said, you need a good pair of readers. He said, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money, which I already knew. He said, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money for readers. So he suggested, it's this site called War something. Hold on. I think it's called Warby, Warby, but let me make sure here. Yeah, it's called Warby Parker. That's the name, Warby Parker. And then the other one he suggested were from a place called iBobs. And so there's actually a Warby Parker on the way to the liquidation store. And then there's another one in Rochester Hills, which is about 10 minutes away from me. And so when I looked online, their glasses started at $138. So I said, I'm gonna go pay the store a visit because I'm quite sure I will probably be able to find something a little cheaper at the store. I was just looking on the website and it was very hard to navigate. All these pop-ups kept coming up every time I was trying to get to a certain section. So I really couldn't navigate the site. So I'm gonna just go into the store and see what they have. And then the Bobbies, I went to their site online, but I didn't go through the full site. Their glasses were a little bit cheaper and they had a huge variety. So I'm going to take the time tonight and go through their site to see what they have. But I would have to order from them. And then, you know, shipping and all that. So I'll probably end up getting the Warby Parker. And then also there's Thin Optics, although the doctor did not suggest Thin Optics, but someone from the Cataract group that I belong to on Facebook suggested Thin Optics, and I like their glasses, and they're a little bit cheaper. Theirs start at like $40, but they're thinner, and they have the kind with the armless. They have a lot of different varieties of glasses, and they're real thin. That's what I liked about them, and they look decent enough. So I said I'll try them out as well. So that's where I'm at with the eye surgery. So I go back in August. He said a little bit of scar tissue was starting to form around both of the lenses. He said, and in August we will know where that ends. He said it's either gonna come and you're gonna need me to clean it up with the laser. He said, or it may not go any further. He said, you'll know. He said, because your sight will, you know, blur a little bit if it goes over the lens or anything. He said, I don't think that it will. He's like, but we do need to check you and we'll need to dilate you on that day. And because my eye pressures were so well and good today, he said, I'm not going to dilate you today. So that cut my time there in half, which was good. And so my sister decided to get nostalgic today. She decided she wanted to ride past our old house. Because remember, I said I was through looking back, but I had no choice today. So I looked back, okay, with her. Then we went by my nephew's because he lives like 4 blocks up from our childhood home. So we went by there, my late brother's son, and we talked to him. I hadn't seen him in over a year. And then we went by my late brother's daughters because she doesn't live too far away, maybe 5 minutes away. So we stopped by there. And then that way I was able to see my great nephew, who I haven't seen since his first birthday party. And he had his second birthday in February. I should have seen him then, but I didn't feel like going to a kiddie party. So I sent his gift and that was that. And so I hadn't seen him in a year, you know, other than, you know, I see videos of him. She sent pictures and things like that, but I hadn't seen him in person. So I was able to visit with my little great nephew and my niece on today. I've seen her, you know, but I just hadn't seen him. So anyway, so that was it. And then I came on home after that. We came home. My sister loved her scarf. She said she would have liked for it to be a little bit longer, but it did everything she wanted it to do. It did the double wrap and it hung. And it had a nice drape. And then she was able to put it over her head as a snood, and she still had the nice drape in the front with one. And so she said, I really like it. She was like 10 or 20 more inches. And I was like, you're correct. I said, but I ran out of yarn. I was like, and I wasn't going into a third. I was like, you already know that. But she said, it's the perfect width. She said, I like the drape on it. She's like, and I like what I can do with it. I said, another thing, too, she had on a sweater. She had on a thicker sweater on today. I was like, you wear something thinner atop, and you might end up getting that extra oomph that you're talking about. I said, because your sweater is, you know, is on the sweater as opposed to a top. I said, so if you wear it with the dress or something like that, you might find that it looks a little bit different for you. So what I'll do, I didn't tell her, but what I'll do is when I finish my project with my silk yarn, I'm almost certain there will be some left over. You always end up with leftover yarn. So if I have enough left over, I will add those extra rows for her, because all I need to do is just pull out the connection to the when I made it into an infinity and just add some more rows. So I'll do that for her because she won't be wearing it anytime soon. It's for next winter. She had already said that. Okay, so guess what, y'all? The yarn chicken got me. The one thing I didn't calculate with the yarn when I was saying with me frogging the other bag, the market bag, the traditional one, and then doing the French style, the one thing I didn't consider is the fact that this stretches wide as you go along. And so this is 20 rows right here. I ended it at 20 rows because what happened was I got to row 37 and was getting ready to run out of yarn. I couldn't get the full 40 that the tutorial called for. And there was no way I was going to beat that yarn chicken, not with 3 rows. Now, if you're on the last row, you can tighten it up a little bit and you can beat the yarn chicken that way. And for those of you who don't crochet, the yarn chicken is when you start running out of yarn and you try to beat it before the yarn runs out. That's why I bought those yarn chicken buttons. So that's the yarn chicken. So I knew I wasn't going to beat it. So what I did was I unraveled it from 37 back down to 20. And guess what? I pulled out the black, so now this is going to be a 2-tone bag. And so I'm almost done. I'm at row, I think 16 with this. This is 20 rows, and then this is 16. And then once I join it together for my last 5 rows, it'll be just like this. It'll be narrow like this. Then I will connect the 2 ends together, and it's going to fold. I'll try to demonstrate it. It's not going to look right, but it will fold like this. So it's going to be, see the width that you're seeing, but it's going to be like in a triangular type shape. If you look at that tutorial that I posted the link to on the last video from yesterday, you'll see how the bag will look in the end. Now, I did want it solid, but because I didn't have enough yarn, I couldn't do it. So I'm using the black. And then since I have 4 of the black, I can still make another bag with the black. It won't be this, but I can make another traditional bag with that other 2 skeins or 2 balls of the black. And then as far as this is concerned, I could actually make a 2-tone with this in the black, which I don't want. I want something solid. So I think what I'm gonna do with this is I may double it and make a traditional bag, or I may just use this for something else. I have 3 balls. And these balls actually go a long way. And so I can use this to make like another bag. I have 3, or I can make something else. You know, I can make a little beach bag. I can make a little bag to carry my ostomy supplies in. And now since I'm using eye drops and stuff, I can just make a few catch-all bags and just make them solid and not mesh, you know, where nothing will fall out. So I'll come up with an idea for the green yarn, and I'll work on that later. But this will be done tonight. So what I will do once it's done, instead of coming back and shooting a whole long video again, I will come and do a short of the finished bag once it's complete. And I will have something in it to where you'll know how it looks. And so this can be used as a market bag, which I plan to use it for. I can use it as a beach bag. I can use it as a catch-all bag, anything. The size of it is going to give me endless possibilities. So we'll see, you know, but I am going to start using it right away because it's made with the good yarn, okay? So anyway, you will see it later. So anyway, I'm going to get ready to get off of here, and because it's almost dinner time. And so I'm going to get off of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, and my friend Butch, they are going to televise his services. So it's going to be live streamed on the Facebook site. So I'll be able to watch it right here from my living room on my big screen television here, like I did for my uncle when he passed in October. In November, I did not attend his funeral because I don't fly, and everybody was flying. So I just watched it from home. And so I said, I had a better seat than everybody. Don't have to, you know, do all that maneuvering and stuff. You just sit and watch it, and you get to say goodbye, you know, to your loved one. Because I'm not really into funerals anyway. Ever since my mother passed, I think I've been to a few family members' funerals since then, because I had a cousin to pass a month after my mother, and then I had a cousin to pass in May of last year. And so two first cousins. And so those are the only two funerals that I've attended since my mother passed. So I pick and choose funerals now. So it's just that. So, you know, I just don't go to them. In fact, a friend of mine here just passed, and I'm not going to attend, you know, I'm not even going to view, you know, but I knew her very well. Okay, so anyway, in fact, two friends, as a matter of fact, two that I knew. One I went to church with as a kid, and then the other one, we used to be in our neighborhood group together. It was like a neighborhood watch group. But anyway, yep, so I knew both of them fairly well, enough to where I should pay respects, but I'm just not. Plus, both of their funerals are on Friday, the same day as Butch's. So Butch wins out. So I'll be watching that. And I meant to say my meal came out excellent on yesterday. I just loved it. And I did it. I took the shortcut. What I did was the meat, I baked it first, and then I put it on the grill and put some hickory chunks in the charcoal, and you would not know the difference at all. And so it was quicker to do it that way instead of just grilling everything at once. I did my veggie pack. That came out really well. So it was an all in all good weekend. I got some cleaning done around the house. It's not all the way there, but it looks a lot better than what it's been looking. So, yep, so I'm happy to have that done. So this, my outdoor cleaning will start tomorrow. I'll get a little bit done at a time. That's all I can do. I don't want to wear myself out or get sick or anything. I was given the all clear. He said I can lift again. He said I can bend again. I can resume all normal activities. He said my cataract lens set very well. So I'm thankful for that. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here because we're heading towards 20 minutes. So I didn't want the video to go this long. And I'm rambling again, so I'm going to get off of here, and you guys have a wonderful evening, and may God bless you all. And to those I haven't responded to, because I saw where I have a few messages that I hadn't responded to, I'll get to you as soon as I upload this video. Okay, talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. And welcome to the new subscribers. I lose a lot, and then I gain a lot, lose a lot, gain a few more. Hey, that's the nature of the beast. So for those of you who have chosen to stay and stick around, thank you. And then for those who left, obviously, you know, maybe this page didn't suit them or whatever. So that's okay too, you know. Hey, that's fine. But I'm happy for those of you who have chosen to stick around with my ramblings and whatnot. Okay, so, and I will be on with my father's story this weekend. His will be short and to the point. It's not going to be a mini series or anything like that. And then after that, I will go into either my bully story from, you know, childhood. So I might pose a vote for y'all so y'all can decide which one. Should I tell about my 102-year-old friend, or should I tell about, and he's deceased now, of course, or should I tell about being bullied? Now, if I did the bully one, will be a mini series, that's for sure, because we got to go from kindergarten all the way up to 12th, okay? But anyway, nevertheless, I'll let you guys decide, and we'll be getting to that in a couple of weeks here. Okay, so I'm rambling once again, so let me get off before this phone rings and cuts me off. So you all have a wonderful evening, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.